How you doing, everyone? It's Chris at Harbor Fish. We're here for another video. I know we kind of missed a few weeks, but we're back and we're better than ever. So this week we're going to do some yellowfin tuna. We have yellowfin tuna in both markets. We also carry a different variety of a bunch of other tunas. We just had albacore in. You'll see bluefin a lot in the summertime. But right now we're carrying primarily yellowfin, so we're going to focus on that today. You could do these recipes with bluefin too, so when the summer comes up, keep this one in mind as well. We're going to try and make this one pretty easy. Everything you can find in store in both locations, which is going to be really nice. So we're going to start off with, we got our yellowfin tuna here. I just cut down the loins already, so I took off the bloodline. I took off the skin here, and I got them in the more manageable pieces. It might look a little silly, but basically what you're kind of looking for is we're going to end up slicing against the grain. So we want to kind of make sure that they're the same size, so at least when you're slicing, you can utilize all of it, and it's not going to look a little weird when you're plating it. If you're just eating at home, it's not really going to bother anybody. We're going to season it with this Meadowborn Bourbon Street seasoning. It's kind of out of Monmouth, Maine. We just started carrying these. Portland's had them for a little bit. You can find them now in Scarborough. Fantastic seasoning. They have a whole line of them. We're going to use the Bourbon Street one for this application. It gives it a little bit more of a blackening, so that's what we're going to use that for. We have a Sushi Chef, which is the Bay Cliff company. It's the brand that we carry for all of our Asian specialty products. So we have wasabi powder. Great thing about wasabi powder is it won't go bad. You can hold it for essentially forever. We got some Japanese sesame oil, and we're going to do some rice wine vinegar. Also, what we are going to do as a little side to this is Azuma seaweed salad. I'm not a huge seaweed fan myself. I know some people aren't as well. This one is not fishy. It's very, very approachable for anybody who's trying to want to get into sushi or seaweed or anything that you're kind of just going against what you want to do with seaweed. And then just some mayo, which we're going to show you how to make a dip for this seared tuna. So to start off, you want to get your pan pretty hot. So we're going to start that first. We're going to get the pan, we're going to put some oil in it, and we're going to start it and get it hot. You want to get it hot first so you can get a nice sear, but while that is heating up, we're going to start and we're going to build the sauce. You want just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan. As you can see, kind of move that around so you can get the whole pan. If you use a non-stick pan, it'll be a little bit easier. You don't have to really watch it as much. I am not using a non-stick pan, so when you're not using a non-stick pan, it's very crucial making sure you have enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan and your temperature. If your temperature is too cold, you're going to get a lot of stickage. If it's too hot, it's going to burn really fast, and then you'll also get some stickage. So you got to kind of find that midway point. So we're just going to let this kind of hang out. I'm going to put it on like medium heat for now. Just so it heats up slowly. I can kind of keep an eye on it and it doesn't get away from me. You kind of want to just go to almost smoke point of the oil, and then we'll start to sear. It'll be very quick once you get that in there because we're just searing. We're not going to cook all the way through. All right, so we're just going to season this up first, just so we're ready. You want to put a pretty generous amount on there. Like I said, this is going to brown a little bit faster because it is like a more Cajun seasoning. Flip, give that a flip. Then any little extras, I just usually press down on there on the sides to get it all over the sides of your seasoning there. I have found that the seasoning does have enough salt and pepper in it, so you don't need the salt and pepper. You can just keep going straight ahead with this. So once we're at that point, we will just reserve for now. Put that back over there. And we're still going to wait till that pan heats up. While that pan heats up, we're going to move over and we're going to start making our mayo. All right, so we're going to start with our mayo. I didn't really measure it out too much. It's about a cup. You can go less, you can go more. It's going to go very far, so you do not need much mayo at all. We're just going to bring that right into a bowl. All right. Now we're going to take some of this powdered wasabi. It goes pretty far, so you do not need much. So I've got a typical tablespoon here. I'm gonna do like, I don't know, just enough to fill the bottom of that tablespoon there. You can do more. I kind of usually just start with that and then see where it's gonna take you. If you need some more, go ahead and add some more. So sesame oil, which is really nice, it has a little shaker. I give it that like 2-3 shakes. You don't need a lot. Sesame oil is going to go pretty far. And then just a little bit of rice vinegar in here. You're not looking for much, about a teaspoon, maybe. And then you can just go ahead and mix. Now you'll see your color will change a little bit. I can already tell just a little bit. It's a little bit more pale than I want. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of the wasabi powder. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. With this, you can add some dried chives to it. It's a really great addition. Ginger would be a great addition. If you have things like yuzu, that would be really, really good. But things that we can find right here in the store, it's kind of a win-win right here. So this is done, and we're going to reserve this to the side for our plating. And then we can move over and we can start searing some tuna. All right, so now that we can see our pan is pretty hot, your oil will be pretty malleable. That's a good indication it's hot. If you want, you can get your fingers a little bit wet, flick some water in there, wait till you get some sizzling, and you'll know you're good to go. Like I said, you want to get oil over the whole pan. I got a nice coat of oil all over the pan, so we're going to go into tuna. Pretty important when you're searing as well. You might seem like your heat is like a little high and you're getting there. Leave the heat where it is once you put the product in and then adjust from there. The product will bring down the temperature of your oil, so just keep that in mind when you're searing. You're going to give this a pretty good sear on either side. If you want, you can cook it all the way through. A lot of people don't like their tuna cooked all the way through. For this application, we are not going to cook it all the way through. We're just going to give it a nice hard sear on both sides. So it's almost going to kind of be very reminiscent of a rare steak is essentially what we're looking for the finished product of this. All right, so as you can see right now when we're searing, you can start to see you're getting a little bit of white over there. That's exactly what we're looking for. It means you're searing, it means we're cooking. A lot of this is going to be by look and by smell. So you can kind of see in the bottom of the pan, you can see a little bit of that seasoning starting to turn a little bit. We're getting a little bit of smoke, and you want to use your nose really well. When you start to smell it kind of caramelizing, you know that we're ready for a flip. So I am very confident that we're ready for a flip here, and we are. So you're looking to do the same thing on the other side. Some people won't, some people will. Me, personal preference, I like to sear the sides. So I'm going to wait until this side is seared, and then I usually will just flip them up and I'll just give them a little sear on either side. I just like the color fully around, and searing is going to lock in all of the flavors and all of the juices that are inside of that protein. So searing will help things stay really, really moist. I just like to go all the way around. Some people will leave it as is, so you can see a little bit of that red, but I prefer kind of it a little bit more done, but like I said, for this one, we're going to go a little bit lighter. All right, so we're pretty much at the point we're going to get those sides. The second side is always going to sear a little bit faster. Your pan's hotter. The oil is already heated up to temp. So we're already at that point again. I'm just going to flip this up on its side, and these are going to be really quick. You're not trying to get as much color. Like I said, you're not trying to cook it all the way through. We're going to try and keep it pretty medium rare. So we're just going to give it a little bit on either side, essentially just to lock some of that flavor in. Makes your presentation a little bit nicer too, so it's a little bit more approachable. People don't really think they're getting a raw piece of fish. As you can see, it's very, very quick. All right, so at this stage, we're just gonna pull this. We're gonna reserve it on a cutting board right here. For best results, just let it sit for a minute, just let it rest. We don't wanna slice right into it. If you slice right into it when it's really, really hot, it's just gonna crumble. So you wanna just let it rest for like a few minutes, nothing long, maybe 2-3 minutes, and then we're gonna start slicing, and we'll start plating after that. All right, so now we're at the slicing point. We let these rest for a little bit. Sharp knife is really gonna help in this situation, and patience. Don't try and cut it when it's super hot. Try to get nice, even cuts, and just don't get frustrated. Have fun with it. If it gets a little messed up, that's okay. So we're just gonna go right down and we're gonna slice. You can decide what you wanna do for thickness. I'm gonna do pretty kind of small self cuts. Like I said, we want to go across the grain. You don't want to go with the grain. It's going to give it a little bit of a prettier aesthetic, and it's going to be a lot easier to cut. Your ends will be a little bit more done than your middle, typically like a steak. So if you have anybody who's not really a huge fan of a little bit undercooked tuna, you can give them the ends for sure, and they'll be very happy. All right, so we got one of these sliced. We'll reserve this one in case we need it after. But all I've done thus far is we've put this Azuma salad on the bottom of it. Like I said, the Azuma salad, very, very approachable for someone who does not like seaweed. It is probably my top 10 favorite seaweed salad, or only one I eat, I guess. And plating is gonna be very, very easy. So we're just going to go right over the top of this beautiful salad. Like I said, you can do a little bit less of a sear. Obviously, I cooked a little bit more through. Like I had said earlier in the video, I'm more of a fan of an overcooked tuna than an undercooked myself. So we're going to do that right on a nice bed right there. I just threw this in a little squeeze bottle. You don't have to go through and do the squeeze bottle, but that way everyone gets a little bit of taste. And then we're just going to take a little bit of black sesame seeds, go right over the middle. And if you want, just so you got a little bit extra if someone wants some. And that's that. Enjoy, everyone.